Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I'm live. This will just take a second, hopefully. Yep, I'm live. Let me see if I can pull up my stats here as well. Connected. Yeah, okay, as usual, Discord's having connection issues for whatever reason. I'll just go and type a test message here as well. And yep, made it to YouTube. Maybe we'll add Twitch in the future, but today is not that day. Oh snap. Yes, I'm hopping on early. And let me go and tell the rest of the group that we're going live. And with that, I shall start. What is up on the U-Box, guys? This is Top Hat Productions 115 coming to you with yet another video, another live stream. Of course, things are a little bit different though, but I'll tell you guys about how they're different at the end of the stream if possible. You might be able to notice a slight difference in sound quality. I don't know if it's for the better or for the worst, but I will find out afterward because I don't really have the ability to check on that right now due to the current setup. Tonight's stream is one that is somewhat long overdue from what I can tell. If I check our current history, my last live stream was, yes, it was back in, March, April transition. So it's been at least a month, as usual. The updates have like about a month between them now. However, a lot has happened in that month. And I'm just going to go over them briefly right now, the changes that have occurred. And this is going to be kind of a two-part update. If you hear any noise in the background, that is my uninterruptible power supply and also a fan running in the background to kind of help keep the data center cooler than what it would be otherwise. In fact, I'll go in and check on the quality of the stream right now just to see. And someone just said it's epic. Okay, so I'll go on and continue as is. So the first topic of today is going to be life moves on. And as I said before, I'm going to try to keep it short. So if I can, I'll try to keep it under 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes at most. But the first subtopic under life moves on is that I've actually received a job offer, another IT job, but instead of a contract position, it is hopefully a permanent position. And this permanent position comes with differing hours, somewhat later hours than what I currently work, and also differing days. My weekends will now be, if I remember correctly, Thursdays and Fridays. So that's the first major change. My weekends are no longer Saturday and Sunday, they are Thursdays and Fridays. Secondly, in addition to the later hours, I may also be receiving higher pay, which will help out with projects in the future, but not immediately. For now, it's kind of just helping out with paying off college loans and stuff like that. But I may be receiving higher pay as well, which will help out in the future. Secondly, I won't be making any more major server purchases for the year of 2021, at least until after I earn the CompTIA Server Plus certification. Now, on how that may impact the current project and also current users of the server setup, well, it won't impact you guys in any major way. The way that you use the infrastructure, if you're any current VPN or Minecraft server users, will remain the same. However, there won't be any major improvements in performance or latency, probably until 2022. And I mention this because of the fact that with the current pacing of Project Personal Data Center, most of our major changes won't come until at least the second half of 2021, this year. And that's because of the fact that I won't be really transitioning to using the server full-time until the 2 front-end VMs are ready. The 2 front-end VMs will be the ones that replace the workstation and also the MacBook, which is where I produce most of the content that you guys see, and also the branding transition that I've had planned for at least the last year or so. I'm going to go on and hop on to the third subtopic now. The third subtopic, because I keep stuttering, is one that you've already heard about before, possibly, but it does have an impact on things as well. The workstation had a RAM slot die recently. Now, this is one that I know I mentioned, at least in passing. But the way that this impacts the server project is because I actually had planned for the T7500, yeah, that workstation, to act as a secondary ESXi node for VMs that could actually benefit from a slight performance boost from the faster Xeons in the T7500 compared to the relatively slower ones in the server. Not to say that the ones in the server are crap-tastic or anything, but the T7500 has fewer cores at a higher clock speed on the same architecture as the ones in the server via DL580G7. So I wanted to really utilize those, but at the same time, due to that RAM slot dying, I am forced to call into question the long-term viability and reliability of the T7500. So before I actually enact that plan, I will most likely have to replace this. I will most likely have to replace the T7500's motherboard at some point in the future. It hasn't gone to complete crap by any means yet. It's still going pretty strong. But due to that RAM slot dying, I do have to consider whether or not I will use the T7500 as heavily as I normally do, and what prolonged usage will do. As such, gaming content will be kind of turned down for now. In addition to this, if I remember correctly, yes, the T7500 was also hosting Minecraft servers. That has come kind of to a slow crawl at this point, due to the fact that not only does that require pretty much full use of the T7500, but also the T7500, even with the Xeon upgrade that it received recently, going from the X5680s to the X5690s, the performance improvement, while noticeable, probably wasn't enough to actually handle a full-size mod pack. And from what I had planned for FIIK, Dynamic Nature, and even our newest one, we kind of needed a larger performance uplift to actually justify being able to host so many services and instances on the 7500 at the same time. I currently have a VPN server running at the same time. I was also planning to host maybe a Minecraft server and a few other things in the background. However, I don't want to have the T7500 pegged at 50%. Well, actually not 50%, more like 75%. I don't want it being pegged at 75% and higher all the time, because of the fact that, I hate to say it, the Westmere cores are starting to show their age in 2021. Which is why I'm kind of holding off on hosting the Minecraft servers 24/7 again until I get the DL580G7 going, because I can have a dedicated VM for just that purpose. Even though they are slower cores, the VM running those Minecraft servers will be dedicated to primarily just running the Minecraft servers and nothing else. There won't be as many background tasks running. It'll be running on a Linux VM with less running in the background, not Windows. And on top of that, I'll be able to do a lot more performance tuning and tweaking probably than what I can do in Windows. Not to say that I haven't done all that I can with the current setup, but I understand, or at least from what I understand, I'm thinking that the experience would probably be much better on an OS that is actually a little bit more efficient. So I'd kind of like to hold off until I can get the entire server environment moved to something with a lot less background noise, if you know what I mean. A lot less background tasks and unnecessary things running in the background. So that is why the Minecraft server project has kind of been on a slow crawl. And on the third subtopic, one which is not quite as related to life moving on, but one that is kind of related to the Discord server moving forward in the future. The server and general community needs more people. We need people from differing time zones with varying skill sets. I mentioned differing time zones because of the fact that we have many different people from different time zones there, but we don't have many people there to engage them throughout the day. So, for example, we may have someone, hypothetically, from Taiwan and someone else from somewhere else in Europe, like maybe London or some place like that, and then someone from the United States and someone maybe from, I don't know, Hawaii, right? Well, we don't have moderators, admins, and or community engagement members from all those time zones either. So as a result, there are definite, I hate to say it, dead zones during hours of potential engagement, where I can't be online because I might be at work, or I might be busy doing something else, or preparing for a CompTIA server certification, or possibly helping out family with other things, and other personal events that I can't really mention here on a live stream because it's just not appropriate. And in addition to that, many of our current admins and moderators are busy with their lives as well. We have people who are moving, people who have to actually who are either moving because they want to or because they have to. People who are busy with school, jobs, and other things that come up from time to time that are just a fact of life, and therefore they can't really be there all the time. There are times when we can all be there, and there are times when most of us just can't be there. So we need more people who are from different time zones to kind of help out, to fill in that gap, and also just in general, more people to kind of help carry the load for varying projects that we have going on. And in addition to this, due to the new workflow that I've been trying to introduce, we kind of need more active members to help pull it off. Because at this moment, on Discord at least, I'll go in and pull up the notes for that right now. This is in our server chat, our admin moderator chat. I've at least had plans for maybe a writer's corner, a game night, a movie night, kind of in a weekly or bi-weekly rotation of sorts. But we can't really do that if we are understaffed. Currently, there's only 2 people trying to do movie night, and one of them is about to be pretty busy pretty soon because they have to move, as I mentioned before. That was something that we were going to try to enact later in time, maybe in June, but now there's only one person, and that's currently me because I'm kind of the only one who isn't being impacted by life events right now in such a major way. Game night? We had maybe 2 or 3 people who could help out with that before, but now at least one of them's moving, the other 2 are unavailable for life reasons possibly, and overall, that's just once again maybe me and one other person. Writer's Corner? We have maybe 2 people, including me, and one of them right now is going through finals and exams and essays and stuff like that, and general stuff. So from what you can tell right now, from what I'm saying, people are busy with life. So we kind of need more manpower behind the scenes. And while in the past years, I was willing to do that during the late hours to the detriment of my own sleep schedule, going to sleep at 5 a.m. sometimes on a school night, I now can't really afford to do that anymore because instead of that impacting a school schedule, which is way more flexible and lenient, I instead have a work schedule, which is going to impact my livelihood if I start showing up late. So I can't really afford to do that either. So whatever I can do behind the scenes, when I'm not working on Server Plus certification, when I'm not helping out at other places, when I'm not busy trying to work on Project Personal Data Center, or maybe when I'm not busy pretty much doing IT stuff at home, like updating computers and stuff like that, troubleshooting issues that may come up, and planning I hate to say it, different purchases and stuff like that in the background that may or may not improve the experience for you guys down the road, well, there has to be other people around as well to help carry that load. I've even had to pretty much put certain projects on ice because, well, I'm not an everything man and I can't do everything. Let me go and check the time here for the stream. Yes, I've been streaming for 15 minutes. So as such, we need more people to help fill the gap. That's the long and short of it. And that's not even to mention the fact that we barely have funding as is, because I'm providing most of the funding for some of these major events. And in the past we used to do giveaways, but I don't really do that as often now because there just isn't much in the way of community engagement for people who would actually want to participate in these giveaways. In terms of new people and in terms of those who would possibly come back after an event. In fact, the last time we did a giveaway is probably at least 6 months ago, I think. But the last giveaway might not have even been hosted by me. It might have been hosted by someone else. I think we've had at least 2 giveaways where another server member got involved. But all in all, there aren't many people getting involved to make it worth it, or at least worth the time to do a giveaway. So we need more people to show up to do those giveaways again. Now, to make sure it doesn't end on a sour note, we do have at least a stable subscriber count on YouTube, which is nice. And on Twitch, we have a semi-consistent presence as well. I'd like to improve that over time with more gaming streams, because that's kind of what Twitch is geared towards. But I can't really do more gaming streams until we get through all the important stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes to support those types of events and community engagements. So, long story short, we need more people behind the scenes. Moving on to the next subtopic here, we have the Minecraft mod packs, which kind of stems out from the same topic that I just talked about. All of them need attention in terms of maintainers and testers. Right now, I'm pretty much the only current maintainer and tester when I'm not doing Project Personal Data Center, studying for the Server Plus certification, prepping to move to a new job, or just otherwise helping out with family and community. But the bigger issue is, even if we ignore that, I can't really provide a good update to those mod packs without guidance on what changes to make for you, the users. So far, I've gotten very little in the way of guidance on what types of changes you guys want, on what the performance impacts are, and what needs to happen with those mod packs. I promised an update over a month ago for those mod packs, but that was highly dependent upon user engagement and being able to tell what needs to be added and removed to and from those mod packs. Let me go ahead and check the chat here. And nothing there so far. So once again, not to end on the sour note, but we need more user and community engagement to know where to move next. I received input from already existing members and some subscribers, but we also need, I hate to say it, we need more input from people who aren't there, I guess, to give engagement as often. Because I'm trying to make sure that the content that I'm putting out is geared towards all users. But I can't really tell if only maybe 5 or 6 people at most are actually saying something. With that, I'm going to go in and check the chat. And there we go. There's Tog Driver, and there's Leonardo. Hold up, let me go and read the chat real fast. I see you lurking there, Tog. You can't hide from me. Howdy. Howdy, cowboy. We're missing a crucial component, a Dell PowerEdge M1000E. How much does that cost again? And who's doing the fundraiser for that? Hey, I don't hate on Dell, but if the M1000E can hold some GPUs, all for it, as long as I can get it for under, $1,000. Can the M1000E pay the bills, though? Can it mine? Actually, mining won't... There we go. Hold up. Oh, I can't do reactions here, sadly. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Aha. And a lot. Reply. Can it mine Bitcoin? Oh my goodness, are those... You just mentioned the M610Xs. Are those MXM modules? Are those like the proprietary form factor MXM modules that they use for servers? As like mezzanine cards, I think? I'm trying to remember. I think I've seen it before. HP and Dell, I think, both have their own like proprietary server accelerator GPU form factors for them smaller blade enclosure environments. I remember there being the HP server enclosure where they had it set up so that when you tried to put in GPUs, you couldn't use regular PCIe x16 slots. No, they had to use like their own. So it is a Blade server, but does the Blade server have x16 slots to throw on something like a Titan XP? I gotta know that. But I also have to make an anime joke now. Yes. Wait. I didn't type in the reply properly. Unlimited Blade works. It has the capability of holding one dual slot card. Okay, that's going to be a problem because we have at least... How many again? I'm going off memory here. We have the Grid K520. That's one GPU. We have a GTX 1080, which will soon be swapped out with a GeForce Titan XP. That's going to be two cards. They're both dual slot, and possibly adding in a third one if I want to add GPU acceleration for anything else. And there's also power for it. Yeah, I wonder how much more power it'd take. Yeah, that has me kind of fearing for my power budget. Oh, hold up, 23 minutes. Okay. Let me go and hop back on topic here real fast. So moving on from the topics of we need more people, because you guys have already known this, but now I'm putting more emphasis on it because we really need more people. YouTube streaming schedule. Yeah, we're kind of saying the same, only with some differences. So yes, but actually no. Possibly concentrating on Fridays and Thursdays now. If I remember correctly, that was the original plan, but that kind of got halted because of the fact that I stopped getting out early on Fridays for schedule balancing reasons. But now, due to the new work schedule, I will most likely only have Thursdays and Fridays to stream, which is great for you guys because that allows me to actually dedicate those 2 days midweek to live streaming and prepping, which is great because I believe that would not only benefit me, but also you guys. Actually, let me think. If I remember correctly, the original schedule was centered around Thursdays and Fridays, but I also said that I would try to stream on Saturdays as well. I won't be able to stream on Saturdays now because I'll be working on Saturdays. And in addition to that, I also have one person in the house who will be off on Fridays as well. One person will be working. So what I would have to... Yeah, I could still stream on Fridays, just fine. If anything, Thursdays might be a more difficult day, but I could still do it from the laptop. And on top of that, I don't have anything scheduled for Fridays and Thursdays at this time. So yes, that would definitely work out better. No events scheduled during those days. So more likely to get live streams out on the predetermined days. more likely to be able to actually get more content in general out on those days as well. But most of you probably aren't off on those days, so I'd probably see delayed engagement probably on the weekends. If I'm thinking about this correctly, most of you probably have traditional weekends. So I'd probably see peak engagement on Fridays, and then from there, delayed engagement coming in on Saturdays, with almost no engagement on Thursdays, because Thursday's a traditional work day, Monday through Friday. But hopefully that won't cause too much of an issue. In the near future, I will also be trying to work on more server and tech-related content like I've been doing so far, which also implies less gaming content, just due to what I've been working on in the background. The gaming content will probably come back full swing later this year or early next year, once all the major projects start coming to a close and once everything starts picking up speed, once I actually move to the new server environment, hopefully. And also once I finish the server plus, once I've settled in at the new job, etc., etc. And from what I can tell, as I mentioned before, this current time of year, and also this current time in general, is just the worst for new member intake and community building from what I can tell, due to current economic events, people moving for whatever reasons, finals and midterms coming in right before major breaks and stuff like that, family time coming up, so I can't really interrupt that. But all of that kind of builds up to, we probably won't be pulling in many new members right now, but over the course of the next few months, so it would be nice if we could bring in new members, because that would help out with content development and creation, and also community engagement and community building. But I'll go on and hop off that topic now. But I do realize that this is a bad time right now, so I'm not really going to harp on that, because there's no way we can even address that. And also, as a last side point, programming won't really show up on this channel much, if at all, anymore. Most of our content is now looking at other things. Computer programming just isn't a major topic here. If I ever did programming content, you won't be seeing it again anytime soon. Just making sure that no one's surprised. Moving on to the creative outlets section. I recently, as in like last month, back in March, right? So not even last month, the month before last, but late March, I created a NaNoWriMo account. I am now, or at least in the next few hours, going to post a link to it if possible, so that you guys can actually engage with me there as well. And not, oh, hang on. Someone just posted something on Discord as well. And also in the chat. Oh dear. And Leonardo says, keep in mind the enclosure has 6 2.7 kilowatt power supplies. Holy crap. Yeah, that's not coming in the house. That's going to require like specialized wiring. Yeah, that's happening after I move out. Oh, and have fun with your PIC32. Yes, that's a microcontroller that Leonardo is working on programming for. So while I'm working on x86 assembly in the background, he's working on PIC32. Awesome. In addition to that, yes, working on getting the NaNoWriMo kind of set up for you guys, if possible, and Toy House is still the main one. In fact, I actually did some new writing for that one recently, and I added a new excerpt to the library. So if you guys want to read that, feel free to check that out. Yes, I do some casual writing. I'm not the best author by any means. In fact, I'm probably craptastic. It takes at least like 4 months for me to get anything right. But if you guys want to see what an amateur author really looks like with no life, feel free to go there and check it out. I'm not going to promise anything good by any means, but if you have pointers on that as well, feel free to look at it. How am I doing on time? Oh, snap. I just got corrected. Also, PIC 16F887, and I am currently 29 minutes into the stream. Yes. On a side note, if you actually want to engage with me in just casual chat, or just crack memes and jokes, feel free to actually contact me on LTT, that's Live Tech Tips Forum, and I will reply. I also have a blog, that which most of you probably don't know of or use, That's the Top Hat Blogspot and also Tumblr. If you want to actually engage on those platforms, feel free to. However, most of you are probably more likely to engage with me on the LTT forums for whatever reason. And I'm not going to try to dictate where you guys engage with me, just as long as you can at least reach me for whatever you want or whenever you need. If you have questions and stuff like that, feel free to ask anywhere where it's appropriate, and I will try to answer your questions as well. I have a few more points to bring up. The new branding is coming later than expected just due to the previously mentioned changes. And I will also have some project personal data center updates coming in a separate stream either later today or tomorrow. But that's not coming tonight because I'm trying to keep tonight's stream short. I'm already over 3-minute timer. So I'm just going to go on and mention the last point before closing out. This is actually my first live stream from my laptop. So I don't know if you noticed, but the resolution is definitely not 1080p. It's probably close to 720p, and this is actually being done from my laptop. And I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if there has been a major change in quality. Hopefully not in a bad way, but in a good way. Okay, Leonardo, seriously. Sneak peek for the DL980G7. I wish. That thing's massive. It's at least twice as tall as the DL580G7 that I'm working with. While it has twice as many cores, I don't really know if it has twice as much PCIe, expansion. And on top of that, the power draw would be immense. I don't even think that my parents would allow for that. I see you smirking there in the chat. I see it. If anything, I'd be more likely to upgrade to a DL580 Gen 8 when the prices finally drop from $2,000 and above. Yes, we're currently trying to source one. Holy crap, they're expensive. A second higher performing, higher efficiency node based on Ivy Bridge or newer would be nice, but the funds simply aren't there at this time. The median asking price is at least $2,000, and that's with like no PCIe expansion from what I can tell. I see you laughing there in the chat. But anyway, guys, it's been 32 minutes, and I promised I'd keep it at 30, so technically I lied. Sorry about that. The laptop is an HP EliteBook. I must turn on the light to see because it's dark. HP EliteBook 8770W. So if you're enjoying the stream, this is being done via software H.264. What a throwback. The T7500 used to do H.264 software before I upgraded to the X5690s and a Titan XP 4K, 3K, whatever. Anyway, you guys keep it cool. I will see you in the next live stream. And until then, peace! And as usual, I will update the live stream description probably in the next few days. Yes, indeed, it is way too expensive for $2,000. There is no way I could even justify that, even with a new job. And with that, I must go. My people need me! And I will see you in the next video.